Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Um, this feels a little weird saying this. I guess I'll say this is a spoiler review. I mean, the plot's ridiculously simple, just as much, if not more, than a lot of other Mario games, and the ending's pretty predictable. But there might be some gameplay stuff or some other odds and ends you might not want to know about if you want to take this game a little bit more surprised. I do have a review up on my blog, soundofbettermyhead.com. There's probably some spoilers in there if you want to go and surprise what the game is, but I don't try to spoil too much stuff. I like let you experiment with the game, experience it, whatever, on your own. I did end up giving this a 4.5 out of 5. I probably could have went a little lower, the 4. It's just a really fun Mario game. I think it continues the lineage of if you take like Super Mario Brothers. I think the next really good jump is Super Mario Brothers 3, where it took the last game, took what worked, improved it, and added some new stuff. And then I think the next one would be Super Mario World. And then after that, they kind of veer off into the 3D Mario games. And there are some later 2D games, but I don't think any of them are really groundbreaking. They kind of more or less spruced up the wheel without really inventing anything new. I think this new game is the closest they come to really reinventing, the Mario franchise while still keeping everything 2D. Again, I guess the plot is this time Mario's in the Flower Kingdom, which is not any different than any other kingdom. It's got the same mixture of stuff you would see anywhere else in any other Mario game. The new leader is this Prince Florian, I believe his name is. He's just a stupid looking caterpillar. He's pretty forgettable. I don't think he's gonna be like Princess Daisy or Princess Peach, where people are like, oh, I want to play with this character in Mario Kart. He's just this boring caterpillar that doesn't really add much to the game. I think the only reason it doesn't take place in the Mushroom Kingdom is because you get to play as Peach as a selectable character, but even then she could be trying to save her own kingdom. I guess you need a guide for this kingdom. I don't know. Anyways, the plot: Bowser comes in, he steals this Royal Wonder Seed, which is basically just a big power star. Everything's seeds here instead of power stars or moons or whatever. Each game has its own name for it. Same thing. And Bowser turns himself into a big castle. You gotta go in there and stop him and save the day. And that's about it. But the gameplay itself, obviously, is where this is the most fun. I think it's some really solid platforming. Some really creative uses of foreground and background. Like you go in a pipe, and then you'll suddenly see Mario way in the background. You're moving in the background, doing what you got to do. Or occasionally you'll pop up in the foreground. As far as power-ups, you got your traditional Fire Flower and your Super Mushrooms. This time, you could turn the Elephant Mario, who has his trunk and he can knock around enemies. He's supposed to be stronger, but it's only a few occasions that being stronger could help. Unless the Tusk is good for knocking bricks out of the way. That does get you past some obstacles that other Marios can't. You could also, if he comes by water, he could hold the water in his tusk and spray it. The only real major use for that is reinvigorating certain flowers, and then they give you stuff like coins. You have Bubble Mario, he's okay. He throws these bubbles. You could bounce off them, which can come in handy in some situations. If it hits most enemies, it traps some and turns them to a coin. It's good at killing certain enemies, like fire enemies that your Fire Flower doesn't kill. Then you have the Drill Mario, where he's got this little drill thing on top of his head. If he jumps up, it's more likely to hurt the enemies than hurt you. Then you can also drill down into either the ground or the ceiling, which has some advantages of getting around certain obstacles. One of the biggest additions to the levels, they have these things called badges. You could select one at a time, and you could change it in the middle of it. You could change it like the start of a level or before a level, or if you get to I think you even change the checkpoints if I'm not mistaken. Some of these are super handy. Like you could jump, and then when Mario does his little spin jump, you actually gain more height, which is very helpful from saving your ass from dying on quite a few occasions. You have another one just lets you run a little bit faster, which is it's good for running over sand, but there's not a lot of sand you got to deal with. Some of the badges actually kind of make things harder. Like there's one that you could bounce higher, but you keep bouncing non-stop. So it's like if you don't time your bounce right, you're not going to get that higher jump. And plus, you keep bouncing, and it's hard to do what else you got to do. There's one that lets you run super fast. You could actually run on air for a few seconds, and you could even jump off the air. But like I said, once you start running, you don't stop. So it's almost useless on most levels. I see a lot of people have been trying to challenge themselves and taking crappy badges and trying to get through certain levels with them. You got another cool badge. If you fall, one time per fall, you'll bounce back up. So if you fall into like lava or something that normally would kill you, you'll bounce back up and usually be able to play some more, unless you land on something else that's going to kill you. I think the big selling point of the game this time around is the Wonder Flowers. Most levels have one. They're pretty different each level. Unless you cheat and look ahead, you have no clue what this thing's going to do when you grab it, which makes it interesting because you're playing along. You're used to like whatever this level's got to throw at you. Then you grab this Wonder Flower and you just you have no clue what to expect next. It's like sometimes you're looking down on Mario, he's basically walking on the wall sideways, or the water was under you and the air is above you, now they switch, or the pipes start moving, or piranha plants start singing and dancing, or Mario turns into a balloon, he's floating around. Like I said, it's such a variety of effects, and you have to navigate through this to get to, you'll get an extra Wonder Seed doing this. Some levels you have to take the Wonder Flower to even complete the level because there's no path forward, and this creates the path. So it's pretty cool. Some of them aren't that great, but it's so much variety to the levels, and it's like you could normally skip them or you could do them. Like Super Mario World, which is probably the biggest inspiration for this game. You got secret exits to different levels. A lot of them lead to different paths. Some of them lead up to the Special World, which has like the hardest levels in the game. And those are all like 5-star difficulties. And there's some of them are. I'm no expert at Mario. I could beat the harder levels in most of the games, but it takes me a lot of tries. I'm not the kind of person that does speed runs. I don't play Mario Maker and try to beat the hardest stuff they got. Those kind of people will mostly breeze through the hardest levels. For me, it was a struggle. You're gonna probably need 99 lives or more to get through some of these. But if you like a challenge, it's rewarding. If you make it through, you'll be, I'd be like me, you'd be hooting and hollering that you got past some of these levels because they're pretty tough. As far as the Bowser stuff, like I said, he's this typical thing. You got to beat the other 6 worlds to get access to Bowser. You go through his levels. The final fight's fun, but it's just not as epic as you think it could have been. It's basically a rhythm-based thing that you got to use these platforms to jump up and take out his weak points. It's kind of a weird fight, but it's fun. Like I said, once you beat the game and beat every other level, get all the Wonder Seeds, you get to the top of all the flagpoles, and you collect all the big purple coins, you unlock this final test, which is insanely hard, and it forces you to use different badges. And I said sometimes badges make your life more difficult, and that's what happens here with a lot of the stuff. But again, if you could overcome the challenge, it feels pretty damn good. One complaint about the game, if you go through and you beat all the levels and you do all this and that, you're pretty much organically going to find everything in the game. You're going to basically get all these medals for completing certain tasks, getting all the flagpoles or getting all this and that, getting all the badges. But if you want to get the last medal, you need to collect all 144 standees, which you have to buy at these little shops. And they take these small purple coins to buy them, and you really don't. I don't think most people are going to get enough to buy all the standees without having to do a grind. Like it's not like I don't think you're just going to get enough, buy all the standees, and have plenty of coins. I think because you can also use coins to buy extra lives. The standees says there's 144. You're probably going to have to buy them at $30 a pop, so it's going to be a lot of money and. It's just kind of sucks that you've done everything like I did, or at any point in the game, you got to go in, collect all these purple coins just to get the say you got it all and you 100% in Mario. So I thought that kind of sucked. That it was that actually it takes the fun out. Everything else I said, you're going through levels, it's fun. You're exploring, you're looking for secret exits. That's a good time. But grinding out these coins, not so much. Everything looks amazing. The animations are. It's like watching a cartoon. The way the characters react, and the Goombas get scared of Mario. Mario going in the pipe and grabbing his hat, and there's little odds and ends that like add some life to it. The backgrounds are like really vibrant, and the foregrounds, like that little parallax effect that just makes it feel like you're really moving to this world. You got a lot of returning enemies. Some of them are tweaked. You got the Koopas and the Goombas. You got Koopas with roller skates now. You got brand new enemies that are pretty interesting. The only lame thing is you encounter a lot of these. I don't even know what they're called. The people that live in the Flower Kingdom. They're just rip-offs of toads. They're toads with flower heads instead of mushrooms, and they're a little bit taller. And they do the same thing. They sound the same. They could have just made them toads. Toads, they're living in this kingdom too. I don't know. It was just didn't add anything to the game. It was just like these are just toads. I really did like, and I thought they were corny at first. For some reason, I like these little talking flowers you encounter. Like they encourage you. They make jokes. That's I don't know, just kind of livens up the levels. It feels like you're kind of interacting with somebody in a way. It's almost like an NPC, even though they just say the same thing or repeat the same thing. It just I don't know. It just feels like hey, this. Busting my ass trying to get through this level, and this guy gives me a little encouragement. But there's not a ton to say about the game. Like I said, it's a solid Mario game. I know people say these games are for kids, but it's just fun. It's colorful, but it's challenging as all hell if you look for the challenges in it. I said great level designs. The Wonder Flowers were a really cool addition. The Elephant Mario and the drill and the bubble flowers are pretty cool. The story, obviously, like most games, is non-existent in the Mario series. I don't think the Flower Kingdom itself added anything that's special. That's forgettable. The game does offer multiplayer and online. You got a ton of characters you can pick from, but it's kind of repetitive. It's like those 3 or 4 different color Toads and like 4 different color Yoshis, and it's like that's the best they can do is just like keep recycling Yoshis to make sure you got enough characters to play with. And it gets also aggravating at the other end because you need those to complete your standee collection. So you're trying to get your stupid red Yoshis and your purple, your green Yoshis, and it's like I don't care about these characters, and I just want to get the 100%. I think that's all I really gotta say. Like I said, I don't want to talk forever and ever about the game. It's fun. If you like Mario, it's a good game. Definitely, like I said, the lineage of the really good 2Ds, the regular Mario, the Mario 3, the Mario World, and then this. On that's all I got. I do got other reviews, video games, movies, TV shows. Those are all at soundofbettermyhead.com. I also got my comic strips on there, so this might be something worth checking out. And other than that, thanks for watching.